This is Sonia with Artsy Solutions, and welcome to the Scrappy 8 Challenge hosted by the ladies over at the Scrappy 8 Facebook group. And I'll have a link in the description of where to access them at. And this month for July is From Trash to Treasure. So I want to use a combination of things that are considered trash or disposables. I have this empty tea bag that I'm going to use within the project. I have some soda cans and soda can tabs. I'm going to do something with those, probably doing my rust, and I'll probably add some of these just to kind of speed up the process. I have some leftover rusted components and not tools, but like screws and bolts and things like that. And I'll probably be using some alcohol inks, things like that. And then I also have, and I'll probably rest my stuff in this can. And I've got this Staples box from who knows how long ago, and I'm just going to use this to I'm just going to cut it up and paint it. So let me just step by step, let me just move some of all this clutter out of the way. So step one, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to cut this up like at the crease, or I could tear it or cut it, whichever. And basically I'm just going to run some white gesso over it, or if I don't use gesso, I'll just use some white acrylic paint. Either way, I'm just using it to paint it, just to get like a solid background color. And I might have to give it 1 or 2 coats, maybe 3 coats, we'll see. And then when I get finished with that, I'll be right back. Okay, so while I'm waiting on the paint to dry, I'm going to go ahead and cut my can. And there are processes where you can flatten this out, but I'll have a link in the description if you're interested in learning how to do that, of where I've learned how to flatten it out. But I might not flatten mine on this one just for time's sake. And then I like to try to go ahead and cut it straight and try to get some of those rough edges. Now keep in mind, this leftover stuff is going to be sharp, so be really, really careful when you're handling cans. It's fun, but you can get cut, so just be really careful. And I'm probably just going to throw those shreds away. So I'm going to do this can the same way, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my soda cans over here to the side, but I think I want to see if I can flatten these. I don't know if I can use it in another project. And I'm just using a hammer. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if they can even be used in something else, but I just want to have them just to have them. Who knows? But I was gonna say maybe, yeah, they can fit down in here, and we'll get a little rust going on. And I have, like I said, I want to speed the process up, so I'm just gonna toss some of this down in there. And we're going to add, let's see, our solution. I'm just going to add some peroxide I'm not even measuring, I'm just putting some in there. Probably about a half a can. And then I just got this from Dollar Tree. And I'm gonna add some vinegar. It's probably about a quarter of a can. Or at least to where it covers it up. I might add some more peroxide. Yeah, I may add a little bit more peroxide. I think you're supposed to have more peroxide than you do vinegar. And then we're just going to add some salt. And we're just going to let it do what it do. And I'm just going to take this outside so the sun and the elements and everything can do their thing and start the process. But let me zoom in because it looks like it's already starting to rust a little bit. You can kind of see, looks like I'm starting to see a little bit of brown come along. It usually only takes about 3 minutes once it's, you know, starts to activate. Oh, I don't want my scissors to get messed up. But, yeah, I'm just take this outside and let it do its thing. And hopefully within an hour or so, it'll be ready. If not, then we just won't be using this. But, all right, so let me go on to my next step. Okay, so I decided that I would actually try to iron this. And I'm just going to hold it on here each side for like 5 minutes. I've seen different videos, but I've never done this before, so we're just going to see which is the best method. Like I said, I'll have a link in the description to show where I learned how to do this. And when I'm finished ironing it, I'll be right back. Okay, so I went and got the concoction of my rust and stuff. Let me see. It still hasn't really rusted yet, but I'm going to add some more components in there. I'm going to add a piece of fabric from some capris I used to have, or I used to wear, that I can't wear anymore. And then I'm also going to add some of this twine. I'm just going to put that in there. And then we're just going to let it do what it do. And then I'll come back and check on it. Okay, so I got most of it pretty much somewhat flat. I mean, it's not completely, but it's better than what it was. So I'm going to do something similar to what Angie Garcia did with her TinTypes. So what I did was, I have an inkjet printer, and I've got some of this, this is inkjet transparency film. So I guess depending on what type of printer you have, you just have to use whatever kind works in your printer. So mine's inkjet transparency film. And what I did was, I have a subscription to Creative Fabrica, and they have a bunch of different images on there, PNG images. And basically all I did was, I had to upload them into Canva because I don't have Photoshop anymore, because my laptop is like outdated and it won't work on the operating system. So anyway, long story short, I don't have Photoshop anymore. So in order to get my images to fit onto an 8.5 by 11 inch paper to print it out, I had to upload it into Canva and then simply add the images on there so it would fit. So I did that and I printed it out, but there are two sides to your inkjet paper. There's a side that when you blow your breath on it, if you don't see your breath, then that's the side you print on. But if you can see your breath, like, well, I don't know if you guys can see that or not, then that's the wrong side. And I had accidentally printed it out on the wrong side. So what I did, because I didn't want to waste my ink, was I just took some tissue, like, you know, the kind of tissue that you use to wrap presents and gifts in, and I just simply transferred it to some tissue. So I can still use this to decoupage in some of my projects. But that's just a little tip. So that way I didn't waste my ink. So I'm just going to find a cute little image for my TinType. Let's see. I'm just going to cut it out. I'm going to take some of this plastic off. And then I'm going to kind of line it up with the piece of aluminum. And I'm just going to cut to that size. Or, yeah. Or maybe just a hair bigger. Just a little slight, maybe a 1/16 of an inch bigger size. So, I guess I could just go ahead and do a few of them. That way I could have them for different projects. And they're already ready. I'll probably do like 3 of them, I guess. That way I'm not wasting anything. And you can do bigger photos, but this, I'm just doing smaller ones just for this process. And I'm going to do this the same way. I'm just going to find the shape. And then I'm just going to cut it down to size. Okay, and I can reserve these for another day. So I'm just going to do like she did, like Angie did. Now I don't have any mixatives, like the alcohol ink mixatives, but I do have like just different colors of alcohol ink, and then I also have some alcohol. So I'm just going to make do with what I have. I'm just going to put just a little old dab of alcohol in here because you don't need a whole lot. Get my little brush out, or a brush that can kind of spread the ink or spread the alcohol, or the ink. It is the ink. Trying to find my wide brush. I don't know where I put it, and I'm not going to search. I'm just going to get a brush. Okay, and then basically we're just going to add some alcohol inks onto the different ones. I'm just using different colors. But you want to make sure that you can see your image pretty decent. So you probably want to go around the outsides areas. I mean, you can still do the inside too, but you want to be able to see your image pretty well. Now I'm just going to add some alcohol. So it can kind of spread. And it probably wouldn't hurt to wear gloves. So let me just put some of these gloves on. Okay, and then now I'm just going to kind of like move this around. And if you need to, you can kind of clean it up a little bit, or kind of like with watercolors, you're kind of just spreading the ink away from the center or wherever your main image is going to be. Or the focal part of your image. Now, I don't know if you can move the ink once it's dry. You may be able to, but I don't know. I've never really tried it. But I think you probably can. I'm just going to pour that there and put some clean alcohol in here. That way I can kind of clear out my center focal point on these TinTypes. And I'm not really too worried about the back of this because it's most likely I'm going to glue it to the back of something. It won't get shown. So I'm going to set these off to the side to dry. I'm just going to add this on here. And I don't like wasting anything. So I'm just going to get some paper. I'm just going to pour this alcohol on here. And then I'm just going to add some water. And we're just going to color this paper. I love this rust kind of look. Gorgeous. Okay, so I'm going to probably staple these, and also I'm probably going to go around the edge to make these a little bit darker, the edges of these a little bit darker. So I'm just going to add a little bit more alcohol ink, this darker one. And then I'll probably get my heat gun and maybe kind of spread it around again just to see what all we come up with, you know. Okay, so I'm going to staple these on the sides instead of using glue because I don't really have the right kind of glue that can make it stay. I'm just going to use a regular staple gun. I hope that it'll work because I don't have a tiny attacher, so I don't know if that would work anyway. So we're going to staple the sides. So here these are from the soda cans. So I'm going to make, I'll probably use her because I like that. I like all the images, but I'm probably going to use her for this project. So we're going to set her to the side, and we're going to have to create a background. So I'm going to take a piece of this and we're just going to start creating some layers. this is pretty much it. We have our little tag that I made out of that Staples box. And we used tea bags, we used Staples box, soda can. So yeah, those were my recyclables. And I just did some stamping, die cutting, and embossing, and just used various pieces of mixed media. And so now the photo I made like a little TinType, in the manner of how I learned from Angie Garcia. And then also around the photo, I put this tea bag around it, and I learned that method from Louisa Heinzel. But she used, I don't know, her photo I'm imagining was probably made using a laser printer, or she probably used one of the Tim Holtz things. Anyway, long story short, her tea bag had some of the spritz, the Tim Holtz, some kind of stains. I don't have those, so I had to improvise and use what I had. But where I messed up at, excuse me, is I have an inkjet printer, and so when I printed this out, it was fine just the way it was, but when I added the collage medium on here, and it got moist, the ink that was on this transparency film, it started to come off. So because when I was separating the tea bag, you know, sliding it away from the face, that's when some of the image came up. But I tried to hide it using this little butterfly and string or whatever. But overall, I'm satisfied with it. And here's a little piece of the tea bag right here, Louisiana. And then here's part of the fabric that I dyed. And we have our little die cuts. And we have our embossed image. And then this right here is that stain, that faux glass that I had gotten from Michelle. And it's transparent. Let me show you. This right here. She had made like a window, and it was so neat. And so she sent me a couple of pieces of her faux glass, and I'm going to be making some more things with it too. But yeah, this is what I made with it. So this is my Scrappy 8 month of July Trash to Treasure creation. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos, blog, and social media sites. And as always, I thank you guys so much for watching.